everybody, welcome to IGCSE Passion. For today, I'll be solving mathematics paper 2 from March 2023. I'll be solving till question 13 for today, and I'll be making part 2 for past paper series for this paper. So let's start. Starting with question 1, from the list of numbers, write down a cube number for A and B a prime number. A cube number is a number that you multiply 3 times by itself and you will get a certain number, or a certain value, sorry. So 12 does not have any values that you can multiply 3 times by itself to have it. Like if you tried 2 on the calculator, if you brought 2 to the power of 3, you won't take the value that you're wishing for. So 12 did not work, 15 did not work, so we ended up with 27. And how can we know that? We can just use the cube root for 27 and we will get 3. So that's why 27 is the answer. For B, we have a prime number. A prime number is a value that do not have, like, if you try to multiply two values together, you won't take a value that contains a certain number. So, for instance, 29, whatever number that you try to multiply it, like two numbers that you have tried to multiply them together, you won't take the value 29. Moving on, we have question 2. Question 2, we have x equal -1, 3, and y is equal to 2, 5. So this is vectors lesson. I guess it's found in chapter, I guess, 8 in the book if you have the official book, but I'm not really sure of that. I'll be making sure and I'll link the book if I found it in the description box. So A is telling us x minus y. So we take the x value and then we subtract it from the y. So as you can see, -1 minus 2 will give us -3. And 3 minus 5 will give us -2. So the answer is -3, -2. Going to part B, 2x. So we'll be multiplying 2 by the value of x. So 2 multiply -1 is -2. 2 multiply 3 is 6. So it is -2, 6. Okay. Moving to question 3. This one is telling us that there is a Venn diagram, shade the region A union B. So it is all of A and all of B. As you can see, this is how you shade it. Moving on, wait, just let me give you a note about it. When you're solving a past paper or you are in your exam, put in mind that shading should be done with a pencil, but I will tell you that they never disclaimed about anything about the Venn diagram specifically, so I would recommend considering it as a diagram as they stated in the rules up there. As you can see here, okay, here, you may use an HB pencil for any diagram or graphs. So we consider Venn diagram as a diagram, obviously. Here's the keyword. So that's why we shade it with a pencil, an HB pencil. Now for question 4, A, write down the next number in the sequence. So 23, 17, 11, 5. What is going on? So how do we know the trend that's happening in this sequence? We subtract 17 minus 23, we will get -6. Again, let's do the process with the third term. 11 minus 17 is also -6. So the trend is that we are subtracting 6 from each value. So how can we know the sixth value, I guess? Or, sorry, the fifth value? It is 5 minus 6, which is -1. Okay. So find the nth term of the sequence. Now, how can we know it? we will label each with its nth term. So the 23 is the first term, 17 is the second term, 11 is the third term, 5 is the fourth term, -1 is the fifth term. So how can we know the nth term? We have this equation that I would tell you to memorize, which is a, the first value, plus n, the nth term, -1, and we multiply it by the difference. So how do we do that? I'm going to write it down. A, as we said, the first term, so 23. Sorry for um, not having a good handwriting. I'm using a laptop, so that's why it's not that tidy and neat. So plus n -1 times, this is the star which represents multiplication. D is -6. How to do it? We multiply -6 by -1 and then -6 by n. Then we add it to 23. We will have -6n plus 29. Okay? Moving to question 5. Factorize completely 8g minus 2g squared. Okay, so we will find the common value for both of them. As you can see, we have the g in there and we have a g there also. And also we can find that -2 is found in both. But it's fine if you didn't write -2. You can just write the 2. It won't make a difference. Like if you wrote -2, the difference that will happen is that this one will become -4 to have a positive value to take 8g instead of this one will give us -8g, but we don't want that, so we will place instead of that negative here and a positive sign there. But it's fine, like it won't make a difference. It's the same answer. So 2g brackets 4 minus g. And to make sure that our answer is correct, you just expand the brackets. 2g times 4 is 8g. 2g multiplied by -g will give us -2g squared. Without using a calculator, work out 4 over 7 divided 8. You must show all your work and give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. Okay, so this question would come a lot in paper 2. How to work with it? As you can see, it is division. Now this one is very simple. You use the rule which is keep, change, flip method. Okay, so 4 over 7 will stay 4 over 7, but we will change the sign instead of division into multiplication, and then we will flip it. So this one is like originally it is, it is 8 over 1. We flip it. It will become 1 over 8 as you can see. And then we will multiply them. 4 times 1 is 4. 7 times 8 is 56. And last part of this question to take the full 2 marks. Here you will get a mark if you reach to 4 over 56. And then the simplest form is dividing it by 4. You can eventually even write it on your calculator as it is. We write 4 over 56 and you will take the same answer. But if you want to do it with your own hands, then you will multiply it by 4. You will take 1 over 14 as your answer. Going to question 7. 7 is telling us to solve 15t plus 8 is equal to 4 minus t. So we will move the similar values to one side. So we will move the negative t to the side of 15t or the opposite, and you will move 8, positive 8 to positive 4 on a single side. So 15t plus t on this side, and then we move the 8 to the other side, becoming a negative value, or we can subtract 8 from both sides if you want, like that. Here we go, minus 8 as well right there, and then we will have the same thing. So here, -8. we simplify that, we will have 16t on the side and on the other side -4. Isolate the t will become -4 over 16. Simplest form is negative 0.25 or 1 over 4. You can write it in both ways, it is correct. Going to b is telling us 25 minus t u over 3 is equal to 2. We want to find the value of u. We will multiply 3 by both sides here, times 3, as well as that side, times 3. To remove the denominator, here we got rid of 3, but still we have on the other side the 3 right there. So 2 times 3 is 6, as you can see here. And then we want to isolate the u. As you can see, I subtracted 25 from both sides to have u on one side. And we got negative 29 on the side after simplifying it. And here we have negative 2u. Divide both sides by negative 2, so negative 2 right there, and negative 2 right here. And we will have u is equal to 19 over 2, which is the same as 9.5. Now I prefer to write it in decimals as this one is a mixed value and I don't like to keep it as a mixed value, and I'm not really sure if it is eventually allowed for you to keep it as a mixed value. So calculate 0.3 power 2, give your answer in standard form. Firstly, we use a calculator. The value that you will get on your calculator is 0.09. Now you will transfer it into a standard form. So we multiply. We want like a whole number. We don't want a decimal. So this one, to turn it into a whole number, we will multiply it by 100. So multiplying it by 100 will give us 9. But what happened? We want the value, which is 0.09, to be represented, not a whole number, which is 9. So 9, multiply it by 10 power 2, which negative 2, which is equal to 100. But wait, let me just make sure that it is the same answer. How to make sure if your answer is correct, write it also on your calculator. You have a treasure between your hands, so don't lose it on simple marks that you can receive easily. Going to question 9. Solve the simultaneous equation. You must show all your work. I wrote in steps 1, 2, 3, 4. You can write it in this way. I feel that it is so organized and easy to read and go through it and take the whole 3 marks right here. So as you can see, I made in the second equation right here x as the subject of the equation. So it is x is equal to 3 minus y. So what is the value of f of x? It is 3 minus y. Simply I will substitute it in the first equation. As you can see, I wrote the step right here. So 3 times, or like the brackets right here, 3 minus y that we found. As you can see, there's an x right here, so that's why I replaced it with the value of x that we found in the first step. Minus 2y is equal to 19. Now we want to solve for y. I expanded the brackets. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times negative y is negative 3y minus 2y. Simplify that, so it will become negative 5y. And still we have the 19 on that side, so we will subtract 9 from both sides to move it away from here and to keep the y's on one side. So minus 9 minus 9, we will have 10 right here. So negative 5y is equal to 10. Now divided by negative 5 on both sides, you will have y, which is equal to negative 2. Okay, so we found the value of y. It is much more simple to use it in the second equation as it is much more easily solved without a calculator. So, or like you can solve it with your own hands. You don't really need to put that effort in solving it. So if y is negative 2 and you subtracted negative 2 from both sides to have x isolated, then you will have x is equal to 5. So the answer is x is equal to 5, y is equal to -2. See, we're moving so fast. Like, it won't take you a lot of time. The total time for this paper is an hour and 30 minutes. You can solve it so fast, but put in mind that as you move through the paper, the questions will become harder. So you don't really need to spend a lot of time on the first few questions, go through them fastly. You should solve more past papers during this time so that you can just practice time management of the first few questions to move through them so fast so you can give time for the last few questions and then you can have a whole revision for the whole paper before the time is up. Going to question 10, we have similarity in here. So the diagram is AB and CD are parallel. Keyword right here. The lines CB and AD intersect at X. AB is 3 centimeters. They wrote that. AX is 2 centimeters and BX is 2.7 centimeters and CD is 7.5 centimeters. Find the length of BC. BC is the whole line right here. It is this one. So it is broken to XB and CX. Here's how I solved it. So we have a similarity. As I said earlier, I told you that's a keyword, and there's another keyword that helped you a lot, which is parallel. So if AB is similar to CD, we will find CX firstly. You will not find it all as they gave you the value of XB. So you don't need that. But you will find CX to add them together to have CB as a whole. So start with finding CX. If CD is 7.5 and AB is 3, then what's the value of CX if the one that is similar to it is 2.7, which is XB? So here I made a cross multiplication. Here 7.5 is 3. What is the value of Cx if xb is 2.7? Cross multiply 7.5 times 2.7 and 3 times the unknown. 20.25 is the value of 7.5 times 2.7 is equal to 3 times the unknown. Then we will divide by 3 on both sides to have to find the value of the unknown, which is Cx. So 20.25 divided by 3 is 6.75. Then add Cx and xb to find the length of BC. So 2.7 plus 6.75, which is 9.45 centimeters. Okay? Moving on, find the highest common factor of 12x power 12 and 16x power 16. So both are divisible, like we have 12 and 16, both are divisible by 4 and both contain x power 12. Like this one contains x power 12 and this one as well contains x power 12. And here we have a 4 in there, and here it is also divisible by 4. So the answer is 4x power 12. Going to one of the questions that students can have a lot of mistakes in there. It all depends on memorizing equations. You need to memorize certain equations before your exam to have your full mark in your pocket. So in a regular polygon, the interior angle and exterior angle are in the ratio of 11 to 1. Find the number of sides of the regular polygon. Here is the way that I solved it. So here we have the ratio. We will use that. So 11 plus 1 is equal to 12. 180, which is like the angle of a straight line here. Here's a straight line, and here's the angle. This one is 180 in total, like the whole term. So 180 divided by 12 is 15. And in that way, what did we find? We found the exterior total angle. Now we want to find the interior. So the interior is here Like I did it in a different way, but you can solve it in any way. So 15, 180 minus 15 will give us the value. If not, then you can just use 11 times 15, which is 165, which is the total interior. Okay, so we have the equation that will be used right here. This one is very important. Let me just use a highlighter in there to highlight it for you. This one is important. I repeat, important. So it is 180 between brackets n minus 2 over n gave us the total interior angle. Okay, so we want to find the value of n. N is what? It is the number of sides in the regular polygon. So here are the steps that I used. I really love to use this way of solving, which is like here I label 1, 2, and 3, the steps that I've done. So 180 n minus 2, and we have the total interior angle that we found earlier, which is 165. Then I multiplied by n on both sides. We will have 165 n here and here 100. Then I expanded one like the brackets right here. 180 times n, 180 n. 180 times negative 2, which is negative 360. We will keep n on one side, so 180 n subtracted from both sides, it will become negative 15 right here, as you can see. And here we still have the negative 360. So we want to find the number of sides divided by negative 15 on both sides. We will end up with our beautiful answer right here, which is 24. So the answer is 24. Our last question for the day is this one, which is 13. So the diagram shows a speed time graph for part of a car journey. Let's just label that it is a speed time graph. Calculate the total distance traveled during the 10 seconds. Now, I really recommend making sure that the values are like the units right there are the ones that are required in the answers. So if this one is meters, this one should be also meters. And they can check you with that by having it, such as having like your kilometers per hour and your hours, and then they want the answer in meters. So make sure that you read like the unit several times before answering. So what is the distance? The distance is the area under the graph. As you can see, I shaded the area under the graph, and they made it easy for you. They've just broken it into two parts. Here we have a rectangle, and here we have a triangle. So the solution is very simple. As you can see, I've multiplied 8 times 10, which is the area of a rectangle, and then, which is, sorry, the length and the width. 10 times 8 is 80, and then the triangle that we are left with is a right angle triangle. To find the area, half times base times height. So the base is 10 minus 8, which is 2, and the height is 10. So 0.5 times 2 times 10 is equal to 10. So we add the areas together, 80 plus 10, which is 90, our answer. And that is all for today. I'll be making part 2 to show you how to solve this paper. Good luck with your exams and see you in the next video. Bye!